Every night, your body gets tired, but your mind suddenly becomes more awake than ever. You lie down. The room is quiet. The lights are off. And somehow, your brain decides this is the perfect time to replay embarrassing moments from 5 years ago. Worry about the future, question your life decisions, and imagine worst-case scenarios that will probably never happen. Why does this happen? Why do some people overthink the most right before bed? And more importantly, how do you stop it? Because overthinking at night isn't just thinking too much. It's psychology. It's emotional buildup. This hidden stress finally becoming loud. And once you understand what's really happening inside your brain, everything starts to make sense. Let's begin. During the day, your brain is distracted. Notifications, conversations, work, videos, music, people. Your attention is constantly being pulled in different directions. But at night, everything slows down. And for the first time all day, your mind has space. That silence becomes dangerous for people who avoid their emotions during the day. Because the thoughts you ignore don't disappear. They wait. And bedtime is when they return. Psychologists call this rebound thinking. The more you try not to think about something during the day, the stronger it comes back when your brain is finally quiet. That's why nighttime overthinkers often seem perfectly normal during the day, but mentally exhausted at night. Their brain becomes a storage room of unfinished emotions. And when the world goes silent, the door opens. But here's the strange part. Most nighttime overthinkers are not weak people. In fact, many of them are highly intelligent. Research shows that people who overthink often have stronger imagination and deeper self-awareness. Their brains are constantly searching for patterns, risks, and possibilities, which sounds useful until it becomes uncontrollable. Because the same brain that helps you analyze life can also trap you inside it. Overthinkers don't just think. They simulate conversations that never happened, create imaginary futures, replay tiny mistakes, and mentally prepare for disasters that may never come. It's like having a brain that refuses to clock out. And nighttime makes it worse because your brain enters a state called default mode. This is when the mind naturally turns inward. Instead of focusing on the outside world, it focuses on you, your memories, your fears, your regrets, your identity. That's why people often become emotional late at night. The darkness removes distractions and reveals what's underneath. But there's another deeper reason why people overthink before bed. Unresolved anxiety. Not dramatic anxiety. Not panic attacks. Quiet anxiety. The kind that hides behind phrases like, "I'm just tired. I'll deal with it later." Your brain keeps track of emotional pressure even when you pretend it's not there. And at night, when your body finally slows down, your nervous system stops suppressing those feelings. That's why overthinking before bed often feels impossible to control. You're not just thinking. You're processing emotions your brain never got time to handle. And here's where it becomes dangerous. Sleep deprivation makes overthinking even worse. The less sleep you get, the more emotionally reactive your brain becomes the next day, which creates more stress, more anxiety, and even more overthinking at night. It becomes a cycle, a mental loop, and millions of people are trapped inside it without realizing it. But there's one habit that secretly makes nighttime overthinking far worse. Your phone. Most people scroll right before sleep thinking it relaxes them. But psychologically, you're overstimulating your brain seconds before trying to rest. Your mind absorbs endless information, comparisons, news, dopamine spikes. Then suddenly you expect your brain to become calm. It doesn't work like that. Your brain needs transition time, and constant stimulation keeps your nervous system alert. That's why some people feel physically tired, but mentally wide awake. Their body wants sleep. Their brain wants more input. And the scariest part? Overthinking often feels productive. People think, if I analyze this enough, I'll solve it. But most nighttime thinking is not problem solving. It's emotional looping. You repeat the same thoughts without reaching a solution. That's the difference between reflection and overthinking. Reflection creates clarity. Overthinking creates paralysis. And the more emotionally exhausted you become, the harder it gets to stop. So how do you actually fix it? First, stop trying to force your brain to shut up. That usually makes it louder. Instead, give your thoughts a place to go. One of the most effective psychological techniques is simple, Write your thoughts down before bed. Not perfectly, not beautifully, just honestly, because when thoughts stay trapped in your head, your brain keeps repeating them to avoid forgetting them. Writing signals closure, tells your mind, this has been acknowledged. Second, create mental separation before sleep. Your brain needs calm input before rest. Even 10 minutes of silence can reduce mental overstimulation. Third, understand this. Not every thought deserves attention. This changes everything. Overthinkers treat every thought like an emergency. But thoughts are not facts. Your brain produces random fears, doubts, and scenarios constantly. You do not need to emotionally react to all of them. Sometimes the healthiest thing you can do is let a thought pass without fighting it. And finally, most people who overthink before bed are carrying emotional weight they never fully express. So during the day, talk more honestly, feel things fully, deal with problems directly, because emotions delayed at noon often return at midnight. At the end of the day, nighttime overthinking is not really about the night. It's about everything your mind couldn't process while the world was loud. And maybe that's why so many people stare at the ceiling at 2 a.m. feeling exhausted but unable to sleep. Not because their mind is broken, but because their mind has been trying to speak all along. The question is, are you listening or just surviving the noise? If you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more psychology and self-improvement content. And remember, peaceful mind isn't built by avoiding thoughts, but by understanding them.